Hello, and thank you for watching this regional forecast for the Canadian Prairie. I'm Andrew Pritchard, Senior Meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. As we look at temperatures across the region, as we head through the next 10 days, we are absolutely going to continue our warming trend back towards more average levels, more seasonally appropriate levels, with even a couple of warmer days worked in there as well. Unfortunately, as we anchor a trough from central Canada down toward the west coast of the United States, we will kind of bring back a cooler pattern as we head into the days 7, 8, 9, 10 time frame. So the warm-up is still on. Unfortunately, the staying power of that warm pattern is a little bit more in question. We're going to keep a drier pattern in place across the prairie. There's some opportunities for light precipitation over the next 24 to 36 hours across the southern border here. Some of that could fall in the form of some very light snow, not expecting accumulation across the southern prairie here in any kind of widespread fashion, but certainly some folks could see some snow falling from the sky. And then as you head well north of the prairie, we could pick up some heavier precipitation and some additional accumulating snow as you head well off toward the north. Temperatures across the region right now, coolest in the east where we're around 4 degrees in Winnipeg. As you head toward the west, between 5 to 10 degrees across southern Alberta and Saskatchewan. As we take a look at the satellite picture right now, you'll see clear skies for just about everyone across the prairie. And then as we head into the afternoon hours, we've got a little bit warmer conditions as you head toward the west, some instability there in the low levels, getting some cumulus clouds, those puffy cotton ball clouds popping up across southern Saskatchewan and Alberta. A very pleasant afternoon. Should be dry as we head through the remainder of the day across the prairie, and we can take a look at when we can see our next chance for some organized precipitation as we take a look at the high-resolution Canadian model. Again, dry as we head through our Monday, dry into the overnight, and since we get into Tuesday evening, late Tuesday into Tuesday evening along the southern, far southern portions of southern Alberta into southern Saskatchewan, very close to the U.S. border here, we could pick up some light precipitation, maybe some light rain, some light snow showers as we head through Tuesday evening into the Wednesday overnight. Again, not expecting any kind of big accumulation from this. Maybe if some unfortunate soul or unfortunate field, gets under one of these snowbursts, maybe you pick up a quick coating or something like that. But that's really it for the next couple of days, and really as we head into the deeper part of the week. So, the model forecasting snow here. Again, maybe someone gets a light coating across the far southern border here near the border of Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Montana, but it does feel rather unlikely. Total precipitation, again, very light. We're talking about a trace here. Some of these amounts here that we're picking up less than a millimeter. This is, maybe you just get enough to kind of wet the field or something like that. South from there, as you head down toward the U.S. border, maybe closer to 5 millimeters of precipitation, but not talking about a soaking here by any stretch of the imagination over the next 24 to 36 hours. Now, the upper level pattern is incredibly complicated, so I'm going to be straight with you as we head through the next several days. We've got pretty good confidence with this drier pattern and the temperatures associated with it beginning to warm up. As we get beyond the end of the week here into the weekend, and then especially into next week, I've got very low confidence. We have an extremely complicated pattern across the Pacific into the western U.S., so not only does that have implications here across the prairie, but also with the chance for thunderstorms and the potential for a warm-up and severe weather across the Corn Belt of the U.S., so really big question marks across a huge corridor here as we head through the next 5 to 10 days. So as we head into the end of the week, into the weekend, we do see the flow begin to kind of flatten out across the prairie. That's going to help us warm up, even turn a little bit warmer than average as we head toward the end of the weekend into early next week. But beyond that, right now the current idea is some fashion, some form of these, two troughs here from the Hudson Bay all the way down to the U.S., the west coast of the U.S. here, kind of getting anchored and kind of taken over as we head into the middle part of the next week. But what exactly that looks like, we have extreme question marks. This is just where, with a pattern like this, we would expect a little bit of a cool down across the Canadian prairie back into the Pacific Northwest of the U.S., but I have low confidence in what exactly the pattern is going to look like as we get out toward May 19th and 20th and 21st. So, if the models are kind of onto the right thing here, yeah, we might expect a cool down, but I have very low confidence in that. So let's just stick to this current week, taking it out through the weekend, right around, May 17th and 18th. As we look at the temperature trends, again, we do see that warming pattern as we head into, let me go ahead and jump back so we can actually take a look at the dates associated with all this. We've got our cooler conditions across the region right now. We'll see that staying as we head into the middle and later part of the week. But as we get into Friday and Saturday, we start to warm up slightly, bringing in more seasonally appropriate temperatures by the back half of the weekend into early next week. But this is where, again, my confidence shrinks. But if we are going to transition to a trough that's anchored from central Canada into the western U.S., we are going to cool back down as we get beyond May 18th, 19th, and 20th. Now, in terms of precipitation, again, very quiet across the prairie. I'll just hit play on this, and you're going to see the lack of really well-defined heavy precipitation events. I'll pause it now and show you that as we head again into Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening, into Tuesday night, we get the chance for some very light precipitation across this region, maybe some snowflakes, maybe some very light, a drizzle, something like that. Same thing transitioning over into southern Manitoba as we head into the later part of the day on Wednesday. So late Tuesday into Wednesday across the prairie, some very light precipitation possible. As we head into Thursday, now Friday, we're seeing some of that snow falling well north of the prairie as the system tracks from west to east Thursday into Friday, dragging a cold front through the region. That's going to give us one last shot of cooler air. That front will then lift north as a warm front as we head into the weekend, bringing another chance for some light precipitation as we get into the day on Sunday. But really, it's that light chance for precipitation across the southern region here as we head through Tuesday into Wednesday, and that's just about it as far as precipitation goes, at least for the period that I have the most confidence in, and that would be today through the weekend. Total precipitation, again, very light. We're talking about 5 to 10 millimeters of precipitation in the heaviest area here as you head down toward the U.S. border with Montana and North Dakota. Otherwise, you have to head well north of Highway 16 to get into some of that more steady accumulating snow across the northern portions of Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. And as we take a look at the temperatures again, understanding that right about here, that's where my confidence really shrinks. So enjoy the warm-up. It is on its way. We'll see high temperatures again once again near 20 degrees Thursday into the weekend here in Calgary. Same thing here in Edmonton. What happens back here? Big old question marks. Saskatoon, Regina, and then we'll finish here in Winnipeg. Again, warming up as we head into the end of the week. I still have high confidence in that. My confidence as we get into the 7 to 10 day time frame, very uncertain as far as temperatures, very uncertain as far as precipitation as we talk about the Canadian Prairie and across the Corn Belt. So check back in on Wednesday. We'll hopefully have some more clarity, or at least we'll have another 5 to 7 days with some higher confidence that we can kind of hang our hat on. So I hope you had a great weekend. We'll talk to you again on Wednesday morning.